Right, let's create a similar thing as we did with delete up here, where we locate the specific one. So based on a filter up here, if the product ID, then we delete it, and so on and so on. Now here we're going to do a slightly different version of it. So we're going to create one called updateProductInState. Sorry, parentheses, fat arrow, and curly brackets. So we'll start with the information inside our updateProductInState. Now we need to have access to the ID, which is a string, and we need to have access to or pass through the updated, with two P's, that's not just a good, product, which is of type product. So we now have access to these two things. That's the important one. Now I'm going to create a constant called index because that's a number. And we're going to use this or store the information. So whenever we run through a filter, a find or whatever, we save this here. So we can use this in a test, an if check to see if it's correct or not correct. And then we're going to, that's correct. What we're doing here is we're grabbing the array, the entirety, so if it's one product, no products, 100 products, doesn't matter. And then since we're using ref in view, it has to have attached this one. If you're using a reactive instead of a ref, you don't need to have this here. Find index is basically searching through the entire array, and whenever it finds the first one that matches, it stops. So if you have 1,000 products and it finds it on the 50th product, then it stops going through the last 950 products, whereas a filter goes through everything. That's why we use it, for example, for a search filter. So it doesn't only return one item, but all items that's matching like a search thing, or a name or a price or whatever. So here we just make sure it runs once, and once it's find it or not, then it stops immediately. There's no point of going forward. Good. Now I'm going to run through an if check here, parentheses, then that one. And in this if statement, I'm going to check to see if the index exists or not. So I'm going to write this first and explain this. So index is not equal to -1. And basically what happens here is first of all, it checks if the condition is not equal to 0. If index is -0, it means that there's no product with a specific ID. It is not found here, so it knows this. If the ID is not -1, that means the product is specified and was found, and it will now do the next part of the code, which will be to take the assigned value, or the new value from updated products in here, and whatever is being changed, it's going to pass them through. So we contact the array again. We're already going through it up here. And ref, since it's a ref in view, we take the actual number we have. So if it's, again, not -0, it shouldn't be if we actually have this product here. So it'll be like numbers. And it will use this to make sure that we put it into the correct place in the index, or into the array of products. So when we update it, we update the correct one. Great, so that's the first part of, no, this is the next part of it, and then in the final video we will do the actual update that does all these callbacks.